Zara didn't see it coming. And that is probably the most surprising part. 15 years ago, when the Spanish fast fashion giant entered India, it came like royalty. It was a glamorous global name, it was a trailblazer in style, and guess who was standing quietly at the door to welcome it? It was the Tatas. Now, here is where the story actually starts. You see, while Zara was enjoying the limelight after entering India, the Tatas were busy taking notes backstage. Fast forward to today, and they have done something that not many were expecting. They have built brands that not only rival Zara, but may actually be pushing it out of the picture. And what makes this whole thing even more fascinating is how quietly it's happened. No media buzz, no fancy launches, just slow, steady, strategic moves. And actually, the numbers say it all. Zara's share in Tata's Trent's overall sales is down from 28% in 2018 to just 11% now. Meanwhile, Zudio has crossed $1 billion in sales this year. Zudio, the brand that did not even exist when Zara entered India. So now, the bond between Zara and Tata's that once looked rock solid is starting to crack. Zara's once glamorous Indian story is beginning to fade, and Tata's homegrown stars, Zudio and Westside, are taking the center stage. So, how did the Tatas go from being Zara's local partners to its biggest competition? And why is Zara struggling to keep up in a market that it helped shape? Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host Nigdha Sharma, and I don't chase the news cycle. Instead, every day of the week, my colleague Rahil Philippos and I will come to you with one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Thursday, the 15th of May. Back in 2009, when Zara wanted an in into India, it needed a local partner. And that is when Trent, Tata's retail arm, came into the picture. Now, Trent was no amateur. Its chain Westside was already selling Western clothes in the mass premium space. But it wasn't quite touching the high end, trend hungry urban customer. And that is where Zara fit in. The partnership expanded Trent's reach and it gave them a front row seat to the fast fashion playbook. But that was just the beginning. Zara's operations, like its famous Friday drops, where new styles hit stores every Friday, became a playbook for Tata. The Tata studied everything from merchandising to sourcing to inventory turnover, and they applied it first to Westside and then later to Zudio. Zudio's model was Zara, but with Indian prices. They emulated the look and the feel of Zara stores, but instead of $35 t shirts, they sold them for $199. And that worked really well. Zudio now sells 90 t shirts a minute and 20 pairs of jeans every hour. And all of that with minimal delay, small, agile teams working to ship new items quickly. In fact, here Zara deserves credit. It still has the best turnaround, which is 7 to 10 days. And Zudio wants to do the same. It has already narrowed the gap quite impressively, even if its exact numbers are still under wraps. On the sourcing side, Zara was importing from China, from Vietnam, and Bangladesh, basically places with cheap labor. And Zudio decided to go local. It sourced materials in bulk, sometimes a year or two in advance. Think of how Titan handles gold. It is the same idea. So, as a result, Zudio grew at a compound annual rate of 83% from 2020 to 2025. Compare that to Zara's 14%, even Westside clocked in 20%. So, now Trent is cooking up a new plan, which is upgrade Westside to a premium brand, launch a fresh mid premium line, and leave Zudio to dominate the affordable space. Think of it as Westside 2.0 going head to head with Zara and H&M. And they will also launch a new brand to serve Westside's current mid-premium shoppers. Basically, one brand up, one brand in the middle, and one brand below. It is the classic three-tier retail strategy. So, where does this leave Zara? Stay tuned to find out. You see, Zara's global story is still strong. Over 2,000 stores worldwide, a fast moving inventory model that others still look up to. But in India, things have lagged. Since entering the country over 15 years ago, Zara has opened only 23 stores. For comparison, H&M, which came in 5 years later, still has nearly 3 times that. And what is worse is that Zara is still mostly confined to India's top 8 cities. And even in those, its presence is limited to high end malls. Take the 5-story Zara store in South Mumbai, for example. The rent was as high as 3 crore rupees a month. It saw footfall but low conversions. Basically, people walked in and they walked out. The unit economics was not working, so the store had to be shut down. One expert summed it up like this: a shopper from Vikhroli is not going to go to South Mumbai for a shirt. They will go to a mall that is closer to home with more options. And that is where brands like H&M win. H&M also moved faster online. They tied up with Myntra back in 2019, they built their own e-commerce site, and now 40% of their sales are online. Zara, meanwhile, is still mostly offline. Take Uniqlo for another example. Despite being newer to India, Uniqlo's average revenue per store is 132 crore rupees. H&M is at 51 crore rupees. And Zara? Just 54 crore rupees. So, what happened? Part of it is structural, you see. Zara India's venture is a joint venture. Most decisions still come from Inditex, which is its parent company. Tata does not have full control. And according to analysts, this deal has little material value for the group anymore. It is closer to a kind of a passive investment. And another factor is timing. Back when Zara entered India, foreign direct investment or FDI in single brand retail was still quite tricky. The joint venture then made sense. But when H&M and Uniqlo came, rules had relaxed. They could run on their own and they did not need a partner. This obviously gave them more freedom and flexibility. Now, the Tatas are reaping the benefits. Trent's stock has surged over 1,000% in 5 years, reaching a market cap of nearly 2 lakh crore rupees. And Zara's contribution to that is shrinking fast. The irony is that Zara showed Trent the way. The Tatas took the blueprint, localized it, scaled it, and built a faster, cheaper, and more adaptive fashion machine. And now, it might be Zara that has to play catch up. The solution? Experts told my colleague, the Ken reporter Akriti Bhalla, that it is time for Zara to go solo. It should ditch the joint venture, take control, expand stores, and boost online sales. Basically, do whatever it takes to stay relevant. Because if it doesn't move fast in fast fashion, it is going to be left behind.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of the Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted by Snigdha Sharma and edited by Rajiv CN.